Okay, and that was sort of the first piece that PleasrDAO owned. Now, that started to ramp up. After that sale was made, then PleasrDAO started to set its sights on bigger purchases.
Yeah.
What was the next big purchase after that?
The next big purchase after that was the first and still only NFT by Edward Snowden. And it sold for 2,224 Ethereum, which was $5.5 million at the time. And it was crazy because basically what happened was after PleasrDAO was formed, they asked if I'd be interested in joining as an honorary member. There weren't that many people at the time. And so I joined because I was curious to see what they were building and where they were going with this. And then, and shortly after I joined in the group chat, somebody had sent the link of the Edward Snowden NFT. And then, the auction was already happening. So basically, we sort of started recruiting more members and gathering funds. And we basically gathered $5.5 million within the span of, I think, like 13 hours or something, which is insane. So that was definitely one of the wildest auctions, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Edward Snowden, his one and only NFT sold for $5.5 million, and you guys won that auction. So now you guys have a $5.5 million NFT in your collection. And this particular NFT wasn't re-released or broken up or anything else like that, right? Or was it?
No, it wasn't. It's still in the treasury of the DAO.
Got it. Is there a current value for this NFT, or does it have to go back to auction to actually be, valued at this point?
Yeah, I think it probably has to go back to auction. Shortly after we won the auction, somebody almost immediately offered 3,000 Ethereum for it. So I would assume that hopefully the value has gone, only up by now. But obviously to the DAO, I think it's priceless. It's probably not something that we're going to resell because it represents such an important moment for the DAO. And so, yeah, it's priceless, basically.
Okay. The next big purchase was what?
The next big purchase was the first NFT by the Tor project, which is a sort of internet private browser. And that was sort of a charity project as well. Internet privacy, related to also sort of the Edward Snowden NFT as well. These are all causes that are really important to people within the DAO. And so that one went for around $2 million at the time.
Okay, so now you have basically $8 million worth of NFTs in the DAO.
Yeah.
What was the next big one?
The next big one was the one and only Doge NFT. So, the original picture of the Doge, the owner of the dog had decided also to basically, there's a trend within all of those big purchases. It's that they all have a charitable component towards it, which is something that was inspired by, my original auction to just inspire people to do good and give back and show people that, crypto and NFTs can be so much more than what people think it is and have a very positive social impact. And so the original dog owner of the Doge dog decided to sell one for NFTs, and parts of it were going to charity as well. And so that really raised our interest, and obviously it being probably the most iconic meme of all time also was very interesting to us. And that one sold for around $4 million at the time.
Okay, and from what I understand, Dogecoin has nothing to do with that NFT or the picture at all, right?
No, it's just a coin that was made, initially as a sort of like a joke cryptocurrency. That was based on that meme. Yeah.
Okay. And from what I understand, it was like a Japanese school teacher who just took pictures of her own dog and put them on the internet, and then, the internet took over at some point.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Okay. So you guys bought that NFT for $4 million. So now you have roughly a $10 million treasure chest. But with the Doge NFT, you guys actually did something with it.
Yeah, so, a few members of the DAO later sort of spun out their own I guess, like branch. And so it's now like called the Doge NFT, and they fractionalized it so that people can have partial ownership for it. And so that was sort of the first experiment that they did with fractionalization of an NFT. And it's the only one that's been fractionalized so far.
Okay. And once it got fractionalized and parts of it started to get sold off, from what I understand, it's worth $225 million right now?
I would assume so. Yeah, that's based on sort of the results of the fractionalization. Obviously, crypto is very volatile, so it's hard to say how much anything is worth. Ethereum has a different price, probably from when we started talking and now, right? So it's hard to say, but yeah, it would be somewhere in that ballpark.
I mean, that's over 50 times what you guys paid for it.
Yeah. Apparently people really want a piece of that dog.
Okay. And from what I understand, as an original owner, well, the original owner of any NFT, once that NFT gets resold, doesn't 10% go back to the original owner or no?
Yeah, so generally that's how royalties work. I think with fractionalization, it could be a little bit different. But, for example, when you're seeing secondary volume on OpenSea, and actually, that's the beauty of smart contracts is you can set your own royalty percentage. So not everything has to be 10%. It could be like Melania Trump had an NFT recently. I think she set the royalties to 100%, which I don't even know how that works. But you can do it. Or it could be 5%, so you can set it yourself as long as you're making the smart contract. But I would say on Ethereum, which is the main blockchain that people are trading NFTs on, the general like guideline that people use is 10%. Yeah.
Okay, so that means that every time it goes back on the market and someone wants to resell it, if it sells for $100, $10 goes back to the owner.
So it actually goes to the creator, and not
the creator. Yeah, that's what I meant. The creator. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So for example, when we resell the Doge NFT, the 10% doesn't go to PleasrDAO. It goes to Kasobu Mama, which is the name of the dog mom. So she's the original creator. So every time that NFT gets resold, she gets 10% of it. Same with the Edward Snowden NFT. Same with my NFT, which I hope they never resell. So.